What is going on, everybody out there in YouTube land? Revolution Hell Cowboy here, and I am back with my WrestleMania 31 review video. Now, as you can see behind me, I just got actually my predictions video behind me, just as a backdrop, because it's just all the video is me talking with, just the photo of the WrestleMania logo. So yeah, just for the hell of it, I have it on my roommate's smart TV, but I'm going to mention each one of my predictions throughout the video and which ones I got right, which ones I got wrong. And I'd say that I got about half right, maybe more than half, because, man, WWE, they did not disappoint in the main event. But anyways, I'll get to that shortly. So first match was on the pre-show. It was Cesaro and Tyson Kidd defending the WWE Tag Team Championships in a Fatal 4-Way against Los Matadors, the Usos, and Kofi and Big E from New Day, which I thought was going to be Xavier and Big E, but I guess I was wrong about that, but whatever. Anyways, that was a pretty exciting match. Unfortunately, because of his shoulder problems, Jey Uso got taken out of the match early, but there was like so much craziness that the referee couldn't even control it. And surprisingly, Natalya, Naomi, and El Torito all got involved. Like when Natalya decided to put El Torito in a sharpshooter for revenge for, pinning her on, that match on Raw, the old interspecies tag match. That was stupid, which was still stupid, but I admit that was pretty funny seeing Natalya do that. Naomi helped her husband Jimmy do some suicide dives, and there was even this massive, vertical suplex where Los Matadors were about to get, Kofi and Tyson Kidd, and there comes Big E and Cesaro, and oh my God, I mean, that had to hurt, especially for Kofi and Kidd, because they were at the very top of this, massive vertical suplex. Now, my prediction was Cesaro and Kidd were going to retain, and well, I was right about that, so I'm 1 for my predictions. So my next match that I predicted a winner for was the Andre Giant Memorial Battle Royal, which I was surprised this match took place on the pre-show. Of course, like I said in the predictions video, anyone could win this match. My pick was Damien Mizdow, which, okay, he didn't win, but he did make it to the end. It was him, The Miz, and Big Show. You had almost everybody in the roster, include, with the exception of people who are already in matches. But surprisingly, those Matadors and New Day, Cesaro and Kidd also took part in this match too, even though they just were in a Fatal 4-Way tag match prior to this. And I'm not gonna go through every single moment, but obviously at the end with Miz, Mizdow, and Big Show just standing there watching Miz and Mizdow, talk, and then Mizdow saying, nope, not going to listen to what Miz says, and, they start fighting. Mizdow throws Miz out. He's all happy. And then all of a sudden, well, Mizdow forgets about Big Show. He tries to put up a good offense, but in the end, Big Show, well, just too powerful and just too strong for Mizdow. Throws Mizdow out. So your winner is the Big Show. So I'm 1-1 on my predictions. But once again, that was to be expected with something like the Andre Giant Battle Royal. Because anyone could win it. The Big Show I was not expecting, and personally, I don't know. Big Show's been in the company, business for 20 years. He's been with WWE for about 16 years now, and what does he have left to accomplish? I mean, not much. I mean, I don't think this was going to help him out, because I always thought maybe the Andre Giant Memorial Battle Royal was going to be a stepping stone for the younger talent, like it was for Cesaro last year, and it could have helped out someone like Mizdow, but hey, since we had Mizdow and Miz, fight each other at the end of the Andre Giant Battle Royal, maybe we'll see a match with them at Extreme Rules, because obviously it's going to start their rivalry, Okay, then we get into the main show. We have the first match of the night, the Intercontinental Ladder match. We have Bad News Barrett defending against Daniel Bryan, Dolph Ziggler, Stardust, which, by the way, Stardust had this weird outfit that one of my friends said it looked like Sinestro. Yeah, Luke Harper, R-Truth, and let's just say, and of course Dean Ambrose, which sadly poor Dean Ambrose, which I'm wearing my shirt today. Dean Ambrose got taken out pretty early in the match when he got thrown onto a ladder that broke in half, and I was kind of worried for Dean, so I hope Dean's alright. Hope he's not injured real badly and that he makes a recovery. I guess we'll see. In the end, we had Daniel Bryan and Dolph Ziggler fighting over the belt. Bad News Barrett tries to get him off the ladder. And it was anyone's matchup. But in the end, my prediction was Daniel Bryan to win, and Daniel Bryan did win. So, hey, I'm 2 for 1 on my predictions. And I think it's it's good to see Bryan win the belt because it's the only belt of the belts the men can hold that he has yet to hold. So, big congrats there, Bryan. Next match was Seth Rollins versus Randy Orton. I had predicted Seth Rollins to win. Orton won the match, which wasn't a bad match. It was pretty exciting, especially when there was this time where what was it, when Orton flipped Rollins up in the air, and come on, Orton, man, that guy can strike out of nowhere with that RKO out of nowhere. But both guys put on a one hell of a show, one hell of a match, Plus, I have a feeling that Mr. Rollins is going to be, involved in a match later on in the night. So, I'm 2 for 2, 2 out of 2 is not bad, right? And there's the Monday Tornado Sirens as I'm trying to record this video. If you guys can hear it. If you guys can't, good. So the next match was, it was the highly anticipated match between Triple H and Sting, which I guess at the last moment became a no disqualification match. One of my friends was like, "What the hell? This wasn't planned originally. Like, nobody knew." And then you had appearances from DX. You had Shawn Michaels get involved. Well, he got involved later, but first it was X-Pac, Road Dogg, and Billy Gunn coming out to help Triple H. Then out of nowhere, here comes the NWO, Hogan, Hall, Nash, to actually aid Sting. Who would ever think that the NWO Black and White would help Sting out? But I guess it was it was much more of a company thing. You had the NWO and Sting represent WCW, and then you have Triple H and the rest of DX, represent the old WWF during the days of the Monday Night War. And like I said, Shawn Michaels would become a factor when he would give Sting a sweet chin music when Sting was putting Triple H in the Scorpion Deathlock. Of course, both men had their weapons. Sting with his bat, Triple H with his sledgehammer. Sting's bat broke Triple H's sledgehammer in half, which obviously that must have been a really weak sledgehammer, or they cut a piece of it. But in the end, Triple H's sledgehammer would become a factor. He would grab that piece of the sledgehammer that he would nail Sting with, and then he would get the victory. So I had predicted Sting to win. Triple H won, which, I'm going to be honest, doesn't surprise me. Because obviously with Sting being a part-timer, this could be one of his only matches, at least the current moment. We all maybe hope for a Sting Undertaker match at next year's Mania, but we'll have to see. But anyways, at the end of the match, we had this thing where Triple H and Sting are staring at each other. You had Sting and NWO on one side, Triple H and his DX mates on the other. And Triple H he puts his hand out and asks Sting to shake it, and Sting does, which kind of was weird. It's basically Triple H saying, "Hey, I beat your ass, now shake my hand." Didn't really get it too much, but whatever. It wasn't a bad match. I mean, you can't really expect much out of two guys. One guy in his 40s, the other guy in his 50s, and then more guys in their 40s, 50s, and 60s when it comes to Hogan. So, it was an okay match. And then, of course, I forgot to mention the entrances. You have Sting with this whole kind of these drum thing going off, the Japanese drum and gongs. Some of them wearing face paint. Triple H got the whole Terminator thing going on, like, really? That was awkward. We were like, what the hell are you wearing, Triple H? That just looked kind of dumb. At least that's what we thought. Some people thought the thing maybe is cool, and I think it'll be for a future Elite, I guess. Well, I guess we'll see. And then, I think after that was... I think it was that Skylar Grey and Kid Ink performance, if I remember right. I did not care for that. I'll admit that Skylar Grey chick was kind of cute, though, but I don't listen to pop or rap music, so I didn't care for it. After that, we had the, I believe it was AJ Lee and Paige versus the Bellas. I predicted the Bellas were going to win, but they didn't, and that's alright. I did want AJ Lee and Paige to win, but I thought that because of what happened on Raw this past Monday that, they weren't going to get along in this match, but they did, and I remember one point in the match where Paige threw one of the Bellas into the steel steps. I was like, damn, that's hardcore. I think it was Brie that got thrown in the steps, and then Nikki Bella was put into the Black Widow by AJ. So now I guess right now I've gotten 3 straight matches wrong, I think, or something like that. Maybe not 3 straight. I got 2 straight, but I got 3 wrong and two right so far. But I have a feeling I'll get the rest right because the next match would be John Cena versus Rusev for the United States Championship. Rusev comes out on a tank. This whole military thing, has like people I think dressed up like, like they're Russian military soldiers. Lana's got the belt, there's a flag, for Russia. And I admit that Cesaro, not Cesaro, but Rusev on a take was pretty badass. Cena's entrance wasn't much. They had like a whole patriotism USA, you know, all the presidents, all that for his opening video, and then Cena comes out. He drops his hat before he has a chance to throw it out of the ring. Then he throws it out at him. It was a good match. You have Cena back and forth with Rusev. Rusev tries to put Cena in the accolade. Cena gets out of it. You know, Rusev, you know, was put in the SDF. Lana throws her shoes in at one point. I mean, who throws a shoe? But in the end, Cena won the match, and I predicted Cena would win. Did I really want Cena to win? Yes and no. Yes, because I believe Rusev's undefeated streak wasn't going to last forever, and it's WrestleMania. They're not going to let Cena win. But at the same time, you know, I don't know if the U.S. title is the best thing for Cena. I mean, well, he last held the U.S. title back in 2004, 2005, and since then has moved into the, you know, WWE World Title picture, and I don't know. I think he'll drop the U.S. title back to Rusev again one of these days, or to somebody else. I guess we'll have to see. And then after that, I believe is when we had our the little moment with Triple H and Stephanie in the ring. They're talking about Sting and how they own all the fans. The Rock comes out, says the usual stuff. Stephanie gets in The Rock's face, slaps him. But the coolest thing happens when Ronda Rousey from the UFC was in the crowd. The Rock had her as a guest. She comes to the ring, and she and Stephanie, you know, get into a stare down. Stephanie tries to, you know, say, "This is my ring. You don't belong here." Ronda says, "Well, if you want me to leave, you make me." And then Ronda puts Stephanie like in a little bit of an armbar. Stephanie is screaming like bloody murder. And then The Rock is, you know, punching Triple H and stuff. It was crazy. So, could we see a future matchup with The Rock and Ronda Rousey versus Triple H and Stephanie? I don't know. We'll have to see. Then we get to the highly anticipated match between Undertaker and Bray Wyatt. Bray Wyatt had this cool thing where, you know, he had all these scarecrows, you know, people that were dressed with scarecrows, and he would bring his lantern over to them and bring them to life. It was pretty cool. Taker's entrance wasn't much. It was a typical Taker entrance. He had his black hat, trench coat, and I noticed he was wearing pants again, so kind of different than the full body outfit he was wearing in the previous years. So kind of back to the old American Badass early days of the new Phenom Undertaker. We'll say prior to 2006. And of course he had his hair grown out. He had shorts. It looked like the American Badass, big evil Taker. Obviously minus the bandana, sunglasses, and motorcycle. But good match. Taker did a tombstone pile driver. It didn't really, you know, affect Bray Wyatt at first. And then Bray Wyatt did the Sister Abigail 1. He tried to once, Taker chokeslammed him. Then he did it again, and well, it didn't affect Taker. Then, of course, there was the coolest moment where Bray Wyatt does a spider walk, and Taker pops up, and Bray Wyatt had the look of fear on his face. Taker nails Bray Wyatt with a tombstone, and Taker wins. And I had predicted Taker would win, so I'm actually starting to get a little bit here, you know, tied up with my predictions. If I remember right, I actually, let's see, I think I had 4 right, 4 wrong at this point. I can't remember. Yeah, something like, yeah, that's right, I do. So if I had my count wrong, I'm sorry. Now we get to the main event. Roman Reigns versus Brock Lesnar for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. I'll admit it was a pretty exciting match. You had Roman Reigns, you know, put up a good offense, but Brock Lesnar dominated most of the match. Oh, excuse me, I had a hiccup there. But anyways, yeah, you had Brock Lesnar doing his suplexes. I think there was a total of 11. And then he started slapping Roman Reigns for a while. Roman Reigns is smiling, saying, you know, obviously thinking like, come on, can you slap harder than that? My grandma can slap harder. And it was crazy. And then there was a point in the matchup where Brock Lesnar is just bleeding like crazy, especially after Roman Reigns sent Brock Lesnar right into a post, and he had blood dripping all over his face. My friend Zach, he was like, "Oh God, that's too much blood. I couldn't watch." I was like, "Damn, that's crazy stuff, though." And finally, after Brock Lesnar nailed, I think it was his third F5 on Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins' music hit, and I was marking out. I was like, "Yes, come on," because I predicted that Brock Lesnar would lose the title and Seth Rollins would cash in. Now, I originally predicted that maybe Roman Reigns would win, despite the fact that I didn't care whether or not Reigns would win, because, you know, Brock Lesnar had renewed his contract, and so there might have a chance that Lesnar was going to retain, and I was going to be pissed if Lesnar retains his belt, but that didn't happen. Now, Rollins was able to do a curb stomp on both men, even though Lesnar did have try to have 5 Rollins before Roman Reigns came into his spear, but eventually Rollins would curve stop Lesnar, and he'd win the championship, and we would have a new WWE World Title Champion. Which to me, hey, it's just a win not to see Brock Lesnar hold that belt anymore. Now, if I have somebody who's on TV every week to hold the championship. So like I said, I predicted 1, that Lesnar would lose, and 2, we would see a Seth Rollins cash in. So hey, I'll say I got most predictions right. And in the end, the show, I would say, well, it had its good moments, its bad moments. I can't really give it a 5 out of 5 because there were some matches that I'd like, I'll say a good 4 out of 5 is good just because it would have been a lot lower if Seth Rollins didn't come in and cash in. Because if Brock Lesnar would have won, I probably would have rated this show a 3 out of 5 or even less. So let me say I am glad we have a new WWE World Champion. I'm happy for Daniel Bryan. Cena, I guess whatever. Battle Royal, I wish it would have been Miz now that would have won, or at least somebody else. Of course, poor Curtis Axel got eliminated. I forgot to mention that real early. Everybody ganged up on the poor guy. So he talked about not being eliminated from the Royal Rumble, but he was eliminated from the Andre Giant Battle Royal. And the rest of the matches, they're okay. But anyways, it was a good WrestleMania. I enjoyed it. I hope you guys did. Let me know what your guys' thoughts of this year's WrestleMania. What were your predictions, and did they come right? And what do you expect for, maybe next year's WrestleMania? Will we see Taker versus Sting? I know it's too early to say, but I know that's everybody's dream match. So I guess, I don't know, we'll see. And what you expect to happen on Raw tonight? Will Lesnar try to get a rematch? Will Reigns try to get back in the picture to maybe try to challenge Rollins for the title? I guess we'll have to see. Anyways, that's all. Thanks for watching. Rock on and keep collecting.